We are delighted to welcome the new CEO of Citation Jet Pilots Organization and the CJP Safety and Education Foundation. A lot of words. Mr. Trent Corcia, welcome, Trent.
Thank you, David. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. It's your first week on the job.
Made it.
It's been a little interesting, busy the first week, right?
It is. It's been a great week.
Well, I know our members, a lot of them have probably not had the opportunity yet to meet you, so we wanted to have a couple minutes to talk about you and things you like to do, and I guess we have to start off with aviation and talk about when were you infected with the aviation bug. Tell us about learning to fly.
Yes, so thank you, David. So my mom remembers my first word beyond mom and dad was airplane. So we were in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I looked up in the sky, and the first word I said that was beyond mom and dad was airplane. So, but for me, as far as what was the first time when I got caught with the aviation bug, I was at Texas A&M. One of my friends was working on his private pilot's license. Of course, I had seen all the airplanes flying over at Eastward Airport and thought, that would be really interesting. Let me go do that. I did an introduction flight, and man, I was hooked.
That's
so
cool.
Since 1996, I've been a pilot.
Now, you are quite an accomplished aviator. You own and fly a Navajo.
Yes, sir.
Military experience, tell us, how did that evolve? Tell us about that.
Sure, absolutely. So I have been flying, like I said, since 1996, Texas A&M Flying Club. Graduated from Texas A&M, was commissioned as an officer, headed to flight training at NAS Pensacola. So because I didn't have 20/20 vision at the time, I couldn't be an Air Force pilot, but I could be a navigator. So I thought, what a great experience. Let's go see the world, serve our country. So growing up, very patriotic family. So for me, it was a slam dunk. I knew that my next steps were going to be after graduation, going into the military and serving. So headed into the military, was stationed out in West Texas at Dyess Air Force Base in Abilene. There I was a C-130 instructor and evaluator navigator. Have about 2,300 hours in the military.
Wow.
So had a blast, seen the world. As I said, I was in from 98 to 2005. So before 9/11, went all across America, Europe, Central, South America. After 9/11, it was two hot spots known as Afghanistan, Iraq, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. So what I remember is the way that you learn geography is through war. And that is definitely how I've learned how to spell the word Kyrgyzstan. Lots of Z's and lots of Y's.
Is it ironic that navigators don't have to be able to see? I think that's interesting. So also, are you aware that Charlie Precourt is not actually an astronaut? Are you aware of this?
I've heard that. I've seen a couple videos.
Yes.
So it's got to be true.
Okay, excellent.
It's on the internet.
Excellent. You're going to do really, really well. And you mentioned that you went to Texas A&M. Those are Aggies. They're Aggies, right? So how did you overcome that?
It took some time and some therapy. I think we go to the same therapist, don't we, David?
Yeah. Well, then you went to SMU, which that was the best 12 years of my life. And then you have Harvard Business. Tell us about the Harvard Business School experience.
Yes, sir. So as you get to know me, you'll know that I'm a very positive person. So while COVID was bad for the global economy, for me, it was able to make a bad experience good. So meaning I started the Harvard Business School Executive MBA back in December of 2019. Great experience, 160 in my cohort from all over around the world. Fantastic, as you can imagine, world-class experience, professors. Could not recommend it enough.
Cool. And how would you relate that to an organization like CJP? What did you gain from that experience?
Yes, absolutely. So what the Harvard Business School Executive MBA program did for me was made me be a lot more introspective as well as more thoughtful in looking at strategy, looking at negotiations, learning, listening, so just further growth. I went to the Harvard program because I wanted to learn and grow as an executive, both personally and professionally.
That's cool. I think you can see we're here in Wichita, Kansas, at the. Is this the home of flight safety Textron aviation training?
It is. Yes, sir.
Filming our What Good Looks Like videos this year. But you have, the past 3 years, you've been directly related with CJP as a liaison with flight safety, but you've been with flight safety in a number of capacities. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Right, absolutely. So David, I've been with flight safety for 9+ years. Started out on the marketing team. So within a year, I was then the assistant manager up in Wilmington, Delaware. So the #2 person running the operations there. Then after 2 or 3 years, then was the Orlando center manager for flight safety. Great experiences there, loved all those. And then my last role has been on the marketing role again, at a higher level. One of the great things about that role was being essentially the relationship manager for flight safety with Citation Jet Pilots Association.
So in that role, would you have had access to my training records at all? I mean, I'm a little concerned that...
That's a really good question.
Because I'm better than Charlie, and I'm pretty sure that you can back that up.
I'm sure. You know, let me talk with some friends and I'll get back to you.
You can find that out. I know, in what I know about you, is that you're really a big family guy, that sports is a big thing with your family. Talk a little bit about the soccer and the traveling stuff you do with the family.
Sure, absolutely. So my wife, Michelle, and I met at Texas A&M. We were married in summer of 1999. Believe it or not, August of '99 in Houston, in Sugar Land, Texas, was a little on the warm side. And we have 4 children. My oldest, Blaze, is very involved as a coxswain in crew in rowing, so she's going to be a senior in high school. Next, my son, JT, is going to be a freshman in high school, very involved with travel soccer. Alex is my 3rd child. He is going to be going into 7th grade, and our youngest, Della, is going to be going into kindergarten. So for Blaze, it's all about crew, rowing, we're constantly on the water. For JT and Alex, they both do travel soccer. And then Della, just the other day, she had her first recital. So
wow.
we are very involved and absolutely love spending that time
So
together.
do you use the Navajo to fly to the soccer events?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we live in Orlando, Florida. Both boys travel from Orlando. We could be up in Jacksonville, Tampa, South Florida. And just like our members and partners who utilize airplanes, it's a great way to get around. And again, it's the magic carpet ride. We're able to jump in the plane and off we go.
Wow. Now I know that our chairman, Randy Broyles, and the executive committee had a very competitive and a short interview process, and we had a number of very highly qualified candidates. You won. Tell us a little bit about that process. How was that?
Oh, it was fantastic. I cannot give enough credit to Randy and Chick and Andrew going through the process. Absolutely first-class people, and I am absolutely excited and thrilled and honored to be the next CEO of CJP.
Well, we're glad to have you. We sold out our first Santa Fe regional event, which you're attending. We sold it out in 4 days. So I guess people were looking forward to coming to meet you. If you haven't met Trent, you probably haven't yet, but you'll have an opportunity at Oshkosh perhaps, or even at our convention in Palm Springs. And we look forward to everybody getting a chance to meet this cool guy. I think you're going to find out that he's excited about CJP, and he's going to bring a lot of great things to the organization.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thanks, David.
Thanks.